Welcome, everyone, to the Real Whovians cast. I am your host, Matrixlord212, and I'm with Scott. What's up, Scott?
Boy, I'm glad I'm not in Cardiff right now.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I really want to touch base on, with our fan base, with Whovians in general, and the nonsense of the chaos in Cardiff, right? So
Yeah.
we know now, what is this like? Is this like 7 days now,
I
maybe?
believe
It's around 7 days, right?
It's either 5 or 6. I've lost count.
I think it's a week. I think it's a week now, Scott.
Yeah, I'm not. Like I said, I'm not even paying attention to this.
Right. I think it's a week now, and the funny thing is, before, when this was going on, the chaos in Cardiff,
yeah,
and then when the Radio Times article hit, the majority of the consensus of people, like the majority of people doing casts on it, they were like, "Oh, Radio Times is from an anonymous source. It's not real."
Yeah,
right?
and that's when I have a problem.
Right. Now, some people are changing their tune, and they're taking the route where everything that they said against the Radio Times article, they're siding with them for some mysterious reason. They're like on the bandwagon of Radio Times, and because
they're trying, because what they're doing,
I think they don't want to go against people that are against chaos in Cardiff.
Mm-hmm.
So they want to play the good guy, be like, "Hey,
they don't want to." They're waiting until the BBC comes out and say, "Well, so," and then when they come out and say it, then they say, "Well, we're first. We were first to report it. We're the first to stand by them."
I mean, I think the people that are doing that, they want to get the group that are against the rumors on their side. Honestly, Here's the thing. My main thing is, and I'm sure I speak for you too, Scott, is that I want the truth.
Yes.
I want to know definitively what's going on.
Definitely.
And obviously, because this was a big deal, this is not fake. There is a realm of truth to it.
Yeah.
Because the BBC never came out and said it wasn't true.
And that's what I said in both my Halogen and my YouTube TBD TBD ons, is the fact that if they don't say anything by Friday, they're basically confirming this to be genuine and true. And what they need to do is either come out and say, "Hey, this is 100% true or false," or "Please bear with us. We will give you a response soon." Right. And literally state it verbatim by verbatim, and then come back next week between Monday and Friday and say, "This is the story." Whether they give us like this 3-worded sentence, this paragraph, Encyclopedia Britannica explanation, I don't care. But they need to come out and say, "This is that, this is what happened.
Right.
And this is what we're doing about it."
And Bradley Walsh, like, going on Instagram and saying, "I'm going to go film Doctor Who in South Wales," does not mean that Jodie will be there that day, or Chimno will be there that day, or Toss and Cole will be there that day. Like, it could mean anything. And
he was scheduled to go in there anyway. So
for 2 days now. Today, on the 14th, August 14th, you already went too.
Yeah.
It was raining. But I think people don't understand too, because I don't think people get contracts, and I don't think they understand this isn't like a retail job.
No.
Where you quit and you're out. Even if she quit, she is legally
have to come back.
Binded to this contract that she has to finish the season.
Mm-hmm.
Even if she quit and didn't come back, she would basically be sued.
Yep.
For millions of dollars or whatever.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. The amount of money it took for them for this episode to have been made, she could be sued for times that amount.
More than that. So odds. Here's the thing: we don't know how many episodes are done. I'm assuming we have a total of 3 episodes left.
Mm-hmm.
The last 2 episodes and a special.
Yeah.
You know, and basically we're talking about if it takes, let's see, 2, 4, 6, maybe if it takes like about, let's say, 2 months to finish,
Mm-hmm.
right? Where we're going into, say, September, like, let's say we'll go into September, October, right? About maybe,
Yeah.
or a little bit more than that. So, like, I think honestly, that's all she would have to do is she would have to finish what she did. And then there's the option that if there wasn't a story put in place for a regeneration episode, she would have to come and film that bit.
Bingo.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, Chibnall, if he was fired or if he quit, doesn't have to be on set because everything is written.
Yep.
He's just there like a figurehead, unless there's something that he wants to step in. But you have a director, you have the writers. You know, he's a showrunner. So,
Yeah.
like,
so what?
It's pretty much
so
done.
The only place he needs to be is either where everybody's seated, doing like the whole readings of the script, or he's off doing something entirely different.
I mean, once in a while, yeah, they'll be at the thing. They may want to change or tweak something, but you have a writer there. You don't need him there.
No.
Right? So he could basically, that be it for him, technically.
Yeah.
Which would make sense if there was an intern showrunner.
Yeah.
Right? So again, let's just clarify. One, if Jodie did quit, she has to finish.
Definitely, 100%.
Which would mean that you don't get a series 13 if she quit, right? If Chibnall quit, I don't know. I mean, pretty much I think he...
If Chibnall quit, if it's true that Chibnall quit,
he probably did his obligation.
He probably did all that he was obligated to do, and the only thing they would have to do is, pay him for those episodes that he used or that he wrote for, and that's it.
That's it. Now I don't know. See, people, when this happened, people took to Twitter and they started creating nonsense stories to make it more ridiculous than it was to discount it. People add-ons of Bradley Walsh walking off set. That wasn't part of the original rumor, right?
Yeah.
And I know that wasn't part of the original rumor because I saw that somebody on Twitter had said something about Bradley Walsh walking off set, and then they said about this one fighting with this one, and I was there for it. It's a joke. Like, they're basically creating whatever. People added about a female doll. Like, people added about a Rose Tyler thing.
That was pretty much let's call it for what it is. Clickbait.
It was add-ons.
It was clickbait.
Add-ons, but sarcasm, but they're trying to make the article more ridiculous than it was, right?
Bingo.
So they were add-ons. They weren't like part of the original rumor. So the thing is, by you going and you sharing this Radio Times article, like I said in my video, 43 times in a day, right? Your basic people are gonna click on the article. They're gonna make money. Radio Times is gonna make a lot of money from clicking on their stuff. And nowadays, they make money more with the YouTube and the internet than they do the actual sale of a magazine.
Yep.
Right? So this is everything now, the internet age. So what is probably going to happen is they're going to have a meeting, Radio Times, and they'll be like, wow, we just made a lot of money from this Chaos Cardiff thing.
Let's create another one.
Let's do it. Let's actually give them something a little bit, but not everything. And really stir the pot. Right. Yeah. Like, really stir the pot this week. Let's because we don't want this thing to die, because we want this to continue. So let's, as Radio Times put out, that, you know, there was a fight and this thing did happen. An anonymous source says that they made up, but it's not real. The thing that
it's not. It's so they can sell more
more
Right.
clicks to the radio times.
Yeah, exactly.
And again, the only way that this is going to end
Is people don't buy
is
into that clickbait.
BBC flat out makes an announcement.
Yep.
Because until BBC makes an announcement, people there is actually a huge percentage of people that are taking the radio times at face value that they are the BBC or something. Like it's so ridiculous. And people that have said also, like us, that the Radio Times is not a spokesperson for the BBC are changing their tune. Wait, they're changing their tune, Scott, to basically boost their channel, making it that they're siding with Radio Times when they were against Radio Times. And I'm like, wow, this whirlwind is interesting now because people were really scared of other people doing better, like with Doctor Who news or something. Now, I'm glad, Scott, that we have other stuff on our channel.
Yeah, me too. We can always go to something other than Doctor Who.
Topic Wonders, Horrorcast, Walking Cast, comics, all these different things we have.
We don't have to depend on Doctor Who.
One thing. No, but some people, their whole channel now is dependent on just Doctor Who. So they want to, I'm not speaking for every channel, but some people want to make friends, even if they don't believe that's the case, but just to get people on the good side.
They'll suck up.
To be, the head news person, which do you really need to be the head news person? No. Let's just talk about it.
If you start doing this in such a manner, you're going to damage your credibility.
Yeah, you'll be like flip-flopping around.
You can't say, and then you're hoping for people's short-term memory and go, oh, okay.
You were for it, then you were against it, right? Yeah. So, listen, we're not the enemy. I want Jody to continue. I just don't like Chip. Sorry. And you know what? You want to. It's too complicated for you to know that we like Jodie Whittaker, but we don't like Chibnall. Then of course you're going to put us in the category of we hate Jodie Whittaker.
Yeah.
Just basically dumbed down. Like that's the bad classification because we are for Jodie Whittaker. We're not for Chibnall, but some people like things simple.
Yeah, they have to have it simple.
Things are not black and white anymore. Things are very.
Mind can't grasp it.
There are a lot of gray areas. Things are not black and white anymore.
No.
So we can like the doctor, but not the writer or the showrunner or whatever. So
definitely.
So that's again, we could say it to a blue in the face, but I think sometimes we have to come on here and we have to clarify our intentions.
Too often we have to do that.
And again, I'm going to state this numerous times, and Scott has been a witness to this. I flat out many a time said that even the BBC themselves were full of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And they were full of shit. Like, we've had the situation where the BBC flat out said to people that they are not releasing this missing episode. There's not going to be an announcement this week. They're not releasing it. They don't have it. And 2 days later or 3 days later, that episode was announced to be released. They flat out lied.
Yep.
Completely. And I remember that. Just like I remember all the time that they said the 50th anniversary is going to be the best. It's going to have a whole season of Doctor Who. And you basically gave us, what do we got? 1 or 2 episodes? It was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was not even worth.
So there's been lies going on, but the BBC ain't saying anything now. That's the weird thing. Nope. They're just not saying nothing. So Radio Times, I'm glad that your stockholders are happy.
Yeah.
And your magazine is bigger and better than ever because Doctor Who's trending.
I'm glad you're making the money.
And like I said, hey, all these Radio Times shippers or whatever that you shared their article 43 times in one day, I think, Scott, they need to share it 200 tomorrow.
Oh yeah, same here. Prove your work.
Let's share this article that is saying that they are the definitive word of the BBC. Let's share Radio Times that the article that Cass and Cardiff is nonsense. Tomorrow on Twitter, everybody should share that article 200 times.
Oh, come on. Not 200. Let's shoot for 500. Come on.
Let's go.
Let's up it. Let's up it.
I want, because you know what? I want.
And each of those 500 people that click on it, they should times the number in which they share it from there.
Because here's the thing. I want this article to be more popular. I want, like, heck, whatever, right? Because when the time comes that it's proven to be, like, bullshit in itself, all those people that shared that Radio Times thing are going to have egg on their face. Because we're being sarcastic. Basically, they're going to have egg on their face, and they were fooled. So I'm not a fool. I'm not sharing that article. Why? Because it's an anonymous source.
Yeah, and I don't know, and I don't trust anonymous sources. I'm sorry. Because how are we 100% certain that that's not somebody who actually is wanting?
That could be somebody scratching themselves in a basement with 5 subscribers. That's what an anonymous source could be.
Yeah.
That just like, yeah, I have sources. I'm going to go to everybody else's video. There's my sources. So it's so funny. Like, we make videos every day, right?
Yeah.
And people could watch our videos. But when people watch our videos and then they're talking to me in the comment section, like they said it, but they just watched us.
Yeah, that's what I love.
I'm like, yeah, I said that days ago. I said that a week ago. Yeah.
And it's like,
thanks.
Wait a minute, you even said it exactly the manner in which you posted it.
I've seen a lot of things we've said, a lot of places, honestly. And I laugh. Because I think we said the Michael Sheen thing early, right? And everybody and their mother's talking about that, like he might be the 14th Doctor, right? I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, of course, there's probably people before us, but the source themselves. But still, it's amazing. Like this YouTube is big enough for everybody.
Definitely.
And I feel that way, but some people don't feel that way. Some people are actually upset, Scott, that we exist at all.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Some people are actually upset.
No, how could they? I thought there was enough room for...
There is enough room for everybody, really. Everybody brings something to the table for Doctor Who, baby. That's what I think.
Yeah.
The more Doctor Who people making videos.
Definitely. It brings diversity so much to where it's awesome.
You could be a cool person, and you could be a psychopath. Make it real.
Yeah, that's true.
No. Just kidding. So yeah, that's my take on the whole Doctor Who situation. Sure, I would like them to say tomorrow, oh, we're filming the finale with the Jadoon.
Yeah.
And not the Jadoon other episode that they already filmed from another block that when do you ever go back and do reshoots for something you already did already? So, yeah, no. I don't know. Still. There you go.
Get this, folks. Until they come out and say, hey, it's 100% factual, I'm going to take it as a rumor.
Sorry, the BBC are not...
Yeah, and the Radio Times is just like... is not... how can I say this? They're a tabloid. Let's just put it that way.
The Radio Times has much say for the BBC as the window washer does in Times Square, basically. Yeah. Or the hot dog vendor. Because, yeah, basically. They don't get paid by the BBC.
No.
And let me tell you something. They eat this stuff up. Because let's just say something happened where they can make money off of it against the BBC's favor.
Definitely.
They would do it in a heartbeat. They would be popping out articles like you wouldn't believe. They would whatever. So it's in their best interest right now to play like, oh, We're talking to the BBC. Everything, you know, this is what they, you know.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Until the Star Wars trailer comes out, and they'll have something else to talk about. Yeah. Like next week or whatever. All right. That's it. Thank you guys. Take care. Bye for now.
Ciao.